Hi guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about peer pressure, temptation. Who you are around is very important. The company you keep, all of the things. Hi, I'm Demi. I love things all personal development. This is just what I love to do, and I feel like I was born to do this thing because I'm obsessed with it. So, let's get into how who you are around. It's also a phrase that like you are a product of the people that you're around essentially. I know it's like a percentage or whatever, but who you are around most of the time, it determines your future essentially. Because who you're around all the time, you pick up things from them. For example, when I was in an early relationship, things that he would say, I would start saying. Like little sayings and things that we thought was cute and all the things. It's not so cute to me now, but that is just an example of one way that can change your life. Because if you look at that example, some of the things were like slang words, right? And if I'm working in the corporate world and I start using those words, you become a person who doesn't look professional, and it can tarnish your reputation. So that is an example. Another example is I think I went out of town with someone, and I had recently stopped drinking, or so I said. I only drunk occasionally or whatever. And we ended up going out and all that stuff, and even though that I told this person I didn't drink, he was like, "What you drinking?" Even though I told them that I don't really drink like that. They say, what you drinking? Like, you getting a margarita, or are you getting, they said specifically, are you getting, one of the alcoholic drinks or whatever? Are you getting this or this? And I caved in because I felt like I wouldn't be, first off, it was my cousin. I didn't see him in a long time. I looked at it as bonding. And now, looking back on that, what are we doing? You're not really who you say you are. To myself, I said. And after that trip, I said, I am never drinking ever again. Because this is actually who I am. You can't really teeter on that. You can't really teeter with things like that. You can't teeter with what I think is different way of living. So, yeah. So whether it's that, if you're with someone, say if you're smaller and you decide to date someone bigger, most of the time you end up gaining weight because you adopt the habits that they have. Now, if you have really strong will, I will say, and I don't even know if I want to say this because most people don't have that in them. But say if I was to, okay, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to give the explanation behind it because, yeah. If you're going to be with someone, you have to know who you are. If you're going to be around someone that doesn't do a certain thing, you need to already know who you are and have been doing that for some years. And it's like you've dealt with the emotion behind why you would never do that in order to successfully do it. So I think that is very important. Very, very, very important to know who you are. Because if you knew who you are, you would just simply not tolerate things in your life that you used to tolerate if you truly know who you are. And say if you want better for your life and you're trying to stop eating so much and you're trying to go to the gym more and you're trying to go get a gym membership, go be around the people who have the thing, who are doing the thing that you are trying to do. If you're trying to become a millionaire, if you're trying to become successful, go around someone and be around them frequently who are doing the thing. You will become the next one. So it can happen on the high spectrum or the low spectrum. It depends on the quality. So are you high quality? If you want a high quality of life, you need to be around high quality people. If you want a low quality life and you don't really care about all that, you think none of it matters, and you can continue and just be happy with your low quality life. So, yeah. So let me show you how my willpower was tested and I defeated it. During Thanksgiving. During Thanksgiving, baby. So, when we all went to the grocery store, because we did something different. We went out of town for Thanksgiving as a family, and it was a beautiful experience. But we went to the grocery store all together and everything. And, you know, I'm just picking out my stuff, shopping how I normally shop at home. And I'm not realizing that, like, my family, like, watching me, and they're like, wow, that's what you're eating. This is what you want. This is what, you know. Because I think we were doing like an around the world Thanksgiving. So we were making different cultures of food. So I grabbed they were making tacos. I grabbed the no carb tacos. And I grabbed the low or no fat cheese. Or I grabbed like turkey because I knew that, you know, I like ground turkey over like ground beef sometimes because of it's just better fitness wise. Yeah, and I think it's also lower calorie. Yeah. And I was looking at the different types of salsa. I got the salsa that I wanted, and I got it for the whole family because I'm like, they ain't gonna know the difference. I know the difference, but they ain't gonna taste the difference. So I was able to get certain things and to make my Thanksgiving the way I want it to be. And regardless, if you've mastered the art of portion control and eating things in moderation, knowing when to stop, you don't even really have to do that. You can just eat a small portion and be fine. And just like drink some water and be over it. But that's how I conquered it. Because I knew, I kept going back to the fact of who am I being in this moment? Who am I being in this moment? And I realized, being around my family also during this trip, I realized where I got the mentality from. So it's not that there's something wrong with you. These are just the patterns that have been repeated for so long, and I just so happen to be the one in my family to break it and shatter it completely because I don't want it anymore, and I don't want it for my future children. That is my why. That is why I cannot stop. And that is why I will never stop because I'm doing this for a reason that is so big that if I stop, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yes, we want the body so we can look good in the swimsuit. Yes, we want the body so, you know, we can wear whatever we want and be this and this and that. But it wasn't big enough for me. For me, I did it because I was tired of not being able to control myself. I thought that was an issue. Why can't I control how much food I eat? Why do I feel like this undying hunger around something simple as food? It made me feel poor. I didn't want to feel poor. I wanted to feel like enough. I wanted to feel satiated. I wanted to feel like I was good enough. And I am good enough just because I am alive. And the action behind that is not overeating. It's as simple as that. If you want to be the person who feels good enough in their body, Stop overeating. Stop doing the thing that you said you wasn't going to do 2 weeks ago. Because you can be that girl who got the body, the glowing skin, the amazing long hair. You could be that girl, but you have to get over those limitations and you have to grow up and do the work. Because that's what it took me. Was it hard? Sometimes, but was it really, really hard to the point where I was like, oh my God, no, it wasn't. There was like a few moments during like Thanksgiving and Christmas or whatever, but once you got over your obsession, once you processed that emotion and dealt with it, of the one that keeps you in food and just eating and eating and eating like a crazy dog, because that is from way back when. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anybody's wrong or right, but I'm just telling you guys what I did, what is working for me, and what is working for me permanently, and the curses that I am choosing to break in my life. And yeah, so please be kind to yourself during this process, because it's hard. If you're going to start the journey, you have to start with giving yourself grace. But if you know yourself, and that's the thing, you have to know you. If you know when you get home you're not going to feel like working out, you need to make sure the treadmill's right here, like right by my door. Like, the treadmill is here. So as soon as I come in, I can put my stuff down, wash my hands, whatever I gotta do, and then boom, we're on the treadmill. Like, if you know you need to create a path of least resistance. You need to do the meal preps. If you don't like cooking, order the food delivery service. Hire you a chef. Do path of least resistance. Whatever is getting in the way, I need you to cut it out. Cut out the middleman and get straight to it. And you can do this with any part of your life. Like, if you have an issue with, like, you can't find a man, go out and go out on so many dates that you get so good at dating that, like, that's not a problem for you anymore. Learn how to talk to men. My bad, y'all. But learn how to talk to the opposite sex. Learn those communication skills that you need to learn to start that business, or communication skills just in general change your entire life, as it's changed mine. But make sure you are also around the people who are doing these things, because they will 10x your results. So, then also I want to say a great shout out to my followers. Thank you so much for being dedicated followers. Don't forget to like the video and share it to any of your friends and family who you think it would resonate with. And yeah, so it is very, very important that, well, step one, follow me, because if you're watching this channel, this can help you on your journey, because you're aligning with someone who's on the journey. So, and who's, you know, superseded. I consider myself superseded, because I do this work every single day. When I say I'm truly dedicated, this is what I was born for. And I believe that, and that's what it is, because I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. I can't help it. This is just who I am. But yeah, so about the snail mail. So what snail mail is basically when you get letters in the mail from anybody, and you'll be getting letters from me, and it's like personal development things, but it's made fun, okay? It's not like just journal prompts and just like boring things. It's things that like are gonna make you think deeply about your life and help you level your life up for the cheapest possible price a month. And it's meant to help you take the journey with me, the personal development journey with me, every single month. We're working on something new, and I'm gonna put my all into this, because I think everyone deserves to get a piece in the mail of all these different things that make you focus on you. Because when you start to focus on you more, it's just to make you focus on yourself. That is what this is about. Me making this available to you. And it's called Your Dream Life Mail. Because it is made to help you create the life that you've always wanted. Because it's going to be things that I personally used and did that I know works. And I'm so excited about it. So the link is in my bio. If you would like to sign up, because this is basically the wait list, and all of the details are there on the page. I don't quite have like the physical link, I don't know, but I just put my link. It's a Google form link. You just fill it out, and yeah. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on so you know when a video is coming out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.